fan of comedy like myself and younger than 39,
29.
Don't start with me, Niles.
perhaps you've heard this name.
Jack Benny.
Jack Benny.
Jack Benny.
Jack Benny.
Oh, who's Jack Benny? I don't know. Ask him.
Well, you've come to the right person because coincidentally, I'm doing a tribute to him tonight.
But like me as a kid, not know who Jack Benny was. I started hearing his name more and more from comedians I loved. Who was it that inspired these people? Who even was Jack Benny? Born Benjamin Kubelski, Jack Benny was one of the nation's first real stand-up comedians. Born in Waukegan, Illinois, on February 14th, 1894, he hit the road with his violin in vaudeville. Vaudeville was like an open mic for traveling performers at theaters. The new breakout entertainers of vaudeville, the comedians. Stand-up really starts to exist.
Hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
That's it. Hello.
And Jack found his fiddle, when he messed up or joked around, could earn him big laughs. With radio coming into the scene and more talking pictures, vaudeville sputtered away. Jack made a transition to radio, reportedly saying as his first words as guest on Ed Sullivan's radio program,
"This is Jack Benny talking. There will now be a slight pause while you say, 'Who cares?'"
If you wonder why so many comedians still today admire Jack, it's because he taught the world about the power of timing and a look with what was called a pregnant pause. But today would be called...
Fancy an awkward pause?
Yes.
And he used a couple of the deadly sins, pride, greed, and such, to have his crew make fun of him and have others recognize and relate their own faults.
Oh, Benita, look, it's one of his contest letters.
Oh, you mean the I Can't Stand Jack Benny contest?
Yes, and there's a little notation on it that says, "This letter was written by Carroll P. Craig, Sr. and won first prize."
First prize! Oh, Ronnie, I wondered what the winning letter was right. Read it, please.
All right. It says, "I can't stand Jack Benny because he fills the air with boasts and brags and obsolete, obnoxious gags. The way he plays his violin is music's most obnoxious sin. His cowardice alone, indeed, is matched by his obnoxious greed. And all the things that he portrays show up my own obnoxious ways." Now, you know, Benita, that's very clever.
Yes, it has such a good thought behind it.
Yes. And all the things that he portrays show up my own obnoxious ways. You know, Benita, maybe the fellow that wrote this letter is right. The things that we find fault with in others are the same things that we tolerate in ourselves.
That's so true, Ronnie.
It made Jack's radio program become consistently in the top rated for more than a decade. His voice as recognizable as the president. Jack had many cast members, but some to note are Mary Livingston, his real-life wife, and on the show, she plays a witty foil to him that is like a friend teasing him, but with some history there.
"I've been on the radio for 3 months. You ought to go out with me."
Look, I've got a lamp that's been on the radio for 3 years. I don't go out with that either.
The singer is kind of a dumb kid, played by a few people, but most notably Dennis Day, whose Irish tenor earned him later shows of his own.
I guess I just can't get used to the idea of Dennis Day in my house. I'm afraid I'm one of your fans, Mr. Day.
Oh, don't be afraid of a thing like that.
Same with band leader Phil Harris. Harris also, as a character, lives life full blast as a Casanova.
Mary, get a load of Phil pretending to be busy over that sheet of music. I bet he's got a phone number written on it someplace.
I'll bet it's a good one.
Yeah.
Who enjoys to drink. In the show and in real life, he married his wife, Alice Faye.
Oh, Rochester! Yeah, boy!
Rochester Van Jones is his valet. He is often portrayed as hip and also gets the upper hand or last word in with his boss.
Jack, do you remember that agreement you made with Rochester about the one getting ready for bed first gets the lower berth? Yeah? I think you're going to lose. Why? Look!
Jack often joked that it's Rochester's show.
You're that nice Jewish boy who used to be on Rochester's show.
A role that is not around much today is that of announcer, like Don Wilson.
And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Shows used to have only one sponsor, and if they did not like you or could not pay, they would cancel you and leave you to find a new one.
Jack, regretting your option...
What?
I mean, regarding your option...
Yes.
I must have a little time to think it over.
But I can't understand why you're hesitating, Mr. Lewis. I mean, I don't know. Something tells me that you must have someone else in mind. And I don't know. I don't know why you keep doing that to me. After all, I've been with the American Tobacco Company for a long time.
So announcers had a big job, and Jack's show made fun with sponsors.
You should buy, and you say, me oh my, what smoothness and mildness, yes it's LSMFT, Lucky Strike me fine tobacco, just like red coffee, to the lucky, I said the lucky,
but also made it blend, kind of like Conan's podcast ads.
Like this. This is an unusual one. Let me explain. It's called Oops, All Ads. We, of course, have a thriving community in the United States, and they hear our often ridiculous ad reads. The ads just completely fall apart sometimes. And this can be quite amusing to some people.
And Don, like Gorley and Sona, became one of the cast. And that's not really even including voice actors like Mel Blanc.
What's up, Doc? Hey, what are you doing now? I'm the voice of Bugs Bunny.
Frank Nelson, who exists now as a meme on The Simpsons. Jack made the transition from radio to TV.
Mr. Benny's residence stars stage, screen, radio, television, and now rehearsing for Tarzan of the Apes.
Benny lived next to Lucille Ball and basically was Hollywood royalty living in Beverly Hills. The Benny family, including Jack's adopted daughter Joan, lived there for several years. Benny's gags inspired many a comedian, but that's another video I did for an earlier convention. And one running gag Jack tried to change near the end of his life is lackluster movie career. He was set to star in The Sunshine Boys, a movie about two former partners in an old vaudeville act, reviving it for a TV appearance. But he never finished, as he died of pancreatic cancer on December 26, 1974.
For a man who was the undisputed master of comedy timing, you'd have to say that this was the only time when Jack Benny's timing was all wrong. He left us much too soon.
His best friend George Burns took over the role and revived his career.
This is a beautiful moment for me. You know, I've been in show business all of my life, and I've loved every minute of it. And being honored tonight by getting this award proves one thing: that if you stay in the business long enough, and if you can get to be old enough, you get to be new again.